headphone just because when I am working out, when I'm running or whatever it is at the gym, it won't fall out compared to these little guys, which it's very still pretty and cute, you know, but they are more susceptible to fall out, especially when I'm like running or if I'm like lifting and then like tilt my head, it's gonna fall over, which I really don't like. So I always love to have two, oops, just in case. Of course, because I love Chanel, I do also have my Chanel Coco Mademoiselle perfume. This is literally my recent favorite. I went to Ulta the other day, like a couple weeks ago technically, and I was just browsing through and I was going through their selections and I was debating which one I should get, because the one that I had before this was the Gucci like gardenia, but the green bottle. That one smells amazing, but it's more very spring-like and very summery, versus this one, it's a lot more subtle. Like I like to just do a little spritz on my wrist and then I just rub it on my behind my lower ears right here, and sometimes maybe I'll just do one spray, I'll walk through, and this smell just lasts forever. Like if you guys know anything about perfume, I would just say like I highly recommend you to invest in a really good perfume, even though sometimes they can cost you anywhere between $100 to $200. It's just that body mist and like lower end perfumes don't last as long, and when you spray them they typically fade out, but with higher end perfumes or colognes or whatever it is that you use, like they last about 3 to 4 days. Like even my clothes, like my coats and stuff, like when I wear them, it still smells like my perfume, which I really, really love. Okay, I do also have this Louis Vuitton wallet. It's the bigger one, but I don't really use this at the moment. The one that I am using currently is my little mini one that I bought recently, and it's kind of like the little key pouch. I forgot the name of it, but let me go grab it so that I can show you guys what I'm talking about. So this is where I keep my stuff, and this is actually what I use for my key. So this is my key pouch. And then for this one, this is where I keep all of my cards and everything. So I recently bought this as like a little birthday present to myself, and I use this little guy so much, like even the little, oh no, the little glue parts like coming up and stuff. But I've only had this thing, I want to say probably only for a few months, but that just shows you how much I use this. I also kind of throw it around and stuff like that, but I like this because it's kind of like a little mini wallet without me having to really try much to like put stuff into a purse and lug it around and carry it around. Last but not least, it's just this other pouch that does come inside of the tote bag. In here, I typically stuff just random things, but for now in here, I have this Asian medicated oil, just because a lot of people at work right now, they're sick, and I'm kind of like the office mom. So I carry this around, and if people have sinus problems, if they're hurting somewhere, I just tell them like, hey, take some of this and like rub it into your skin where you're hurting, and it acts like a hot cool type of thing. Or you can put this on your nose, opens up your sinuses, and it's amazing. It's kind of like Vicks, but a lot stronger and a lot better. And then I just have some of like La Mer samples and stuff that I keep. I don't like to carry my full size La Mers just because they're a lot bigger. So I keep the sample ones that I get whenever I do buy my La Mer packets, and it's just nice to have these. So I do keep these on hand, and I do refill them with my other ones that I have whenever I do run out, because it's nice. Like sometimes if my face is dry, I'll have eye cream, I have face cream, and then I have this body oil as well. And then other than that, I just have a little baby mini lotion for right now. It's winter time, so my hands are like cracking. I wash my hands so much as well too. So it's just very, very nice to have this with me at all times. Onto the bag. I will say some pros and cons about this. One thing that I love, like I told you guys, it's the fact that the size, it's really nice because it's not too big, it's not too, like for example, I have the Speedy, I believe in the size 30, and the Speedy was a present gifted to me for Christmas by my aunt, but it's a little bit too big for me and I never really know what to stuff in there. But because this is a tote bag, it's a lot easier and I can put it over my shoulder without having just to like hold it on my wrist or my hand, where my hand will get tired. But with this, I can just hold it, put it over my shoulder, and it just sits very nicely. So I do love the way that this looks on me a lot more than just like all of my other bags. And then this is just very like elegant, it's very nice. Either dress it up or dress it down, it just kind of depends. Like it's just a very nice, simple like hobo bag, but without having to be so hobo in a way. I don't know if that makes sense. The only thing that it kind of bothers me sometimes is there's these little buttons like so, where you can close the bag. But for me, I think when I put so much stuff in here, the bag is always like opening on its own. So technically these buttons like don't really do much, to be honest. And then as you can see, it's a very just like sloppy bag, which again, I don't mind that, but sometimes because it is very sloppy, a lot of my things do typically tend to fall out. And again, it's not a big problem. It's just whenever I'm in my car or something that things will fall out. But inside you just have like, I have a lot of dog hair, but just this little fabric quilting. You just have like the chip inside, and you also have like another zipper right here as well. And then the zipper part opens and you can just put whatever in here if you'd like. When I first saw this tote bag, I have to be honest, I was not a fan. Like I didn't think I would like this bag because I'm a huge fan of the Chanel Classic Flap, which I am on the market for. And I've been going down the vintage route, but I've also been looking at some, you know, authentic ones as well too. But it is really pricey right now, just with everything going on and inflation. It's not a good time to be spending your money, I don't think. But, you know, a girl loves to shop. And I am lucky enough to, you know, be able to save my money. I have a really good job, so I'm just very, 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 very grateful. And yeah, you know, like I always have like a mixed feeling type of thing with like designer and like a love-hate thing, just because of how much they can cost and how much the money could be used towards like investments or something else. But I do really love just the history and the look of it. And at the same time, I also like, I'm very bougie. I'm also very materialistic, and I know that. I come across like just very out there and very extra. I love my nails done, I love my hair done, I love wearing my makeup, and I just like to be very well put together, and I just like nice things. But that doesn't mean that, you know, sometimes you can read a person and it might come off as like, oh, they're just very like spoiled, or they're very rich and rude and whatever. So I don't want anyone to think of me in that way, because that's not what I'm going for. I just like nice things, and usually I like nice things on a budget as well too. But yeah, I wasn't a fan when I first saw this bag, and it kind of grew on me, to be honest. Like when I got this bag, it was a present, to be honest, and I didn't really know whether or not I would end up liking it. And over time, it's just grown on me. I still don't really know how to like use this little section of like where the bag can like go in, like I've seen some other people do, but that's not a big deal. But I just love
an authenticity card. Now, authentic Chanel authenticity card, actually the card feels like thin plastic, a bit like a credit card. Now this one feels like cardboard. If you look closely, the gold border around the card, you can see it's actually misprinted and it's cut on a wonky edge. Now we're going to look at the back plate lock. So if I flip that bag open, usually with authentic Chanel, they normally gold plate everything, including the flathead screws. On this version, they haven't. Now, if we compare this with the authentic version of a backplate lock, as you can see, the position of the Chanel and Paris are back to front on the super fake version. And now if we look closely at the hardware, the CC hardware, on this classic flap, the CC, the edges are slightly softened. Whereas on the Super Fake version, the CC edges are very sharp and squared off. However, they have managed to get the hallmarking correct here with the 3 lines here. There's a 3 line here. Now, the hallmarking on a CC lock determines the country of origin of where the bag is made. So if you come across a bag with some sort of hallmarking, it means that the bag is made in France. So let's check this on the classic flap. So if we open it up, this bag should be made in France. Now, if we look at the Super Fake version, this should say made in France too. However, when you look inside, it says made in Italy. And then upon close inspection, the made in Italy stamping is actually too large. The font is too large. So to summarise, the key things to look out for are things like the font and type on a serial sticker, pay attention to the hardware, look at the interlace detail on the chain strap, and pay attention to the leather and quilting. Even Super Fake bags miss out on all the finer details. Even though this is a well-made bag, they will get what seems like a minor detail very wrong. I hope we have shown you some useful information from which you can build your knowledge from. Thank you for watching. Please visit our website vintageheirloom.com for vintage Chanel and other products and informative guides and blogs. Thank you.
Mediums. Sorry, I had her on the wrong side, so it looked funny. Dun, 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 dun. The great thing about the mediums is that they can fit a ton of stuff, more than the rectangular mini classic flap. Not quite as much as the jumbo, but enough for me. Being a mom of 3, it can hold my phone, my wallet, everything that I need that's a necessity. And it's not too heavy. The jumbo's a little bit heavier, so right now I'm all about the mediums. And this is her on single strap. She hits at the perfect length for me. If you wanted to extend the strap so it could be a little bit longer, you could wear a crossbody. You can always reach out to leather surgeons in Doylestown, PA, and they would be happy to help you if they're able to. I can't promise what they can always do, but they might be able to assist you. So please comment below. Let me know what your holy grail bag is. Which bag do you love that you just can't find? Which bag do you love that you have found that you'll never ever let go of? And maybe let me know which is your favorite red, because I have a few reds in my collection. I have the red with ruthenium, I have the 2012 red, and now I've just added this little beauty with the gold hardware. I hope you guys have had fun watching this video. I know it's just a quick little one, but I just wanted to show you my newest baby, and I'm not talking about Coco. This is, again, the 13 series red caviar medium double flap classic flap with gold hardware, and she just makes me so happy. I know some people watch my videos and they comment, you know, it's just a bag. If you don't love handbags, please don't watch my videos, or please don't write mean comments. I'm just going to delete them anyway, so don't waste your time. I'm all about positivity, so if you are saying anything negative, just know it's just going to be erased and gone, and forgotten. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Again, I'm Darcy from Opulent Habits. I appreciate all your love and support. Please follow us on Instagram at Opulent Habits. You can also check